Hello everyone, I'm Superplayer301, and episode 5 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to do the same thing we did last episode, where we did 2 different conferences, because we're trying to get this wrapped up fairly quickly, and I want to have time, because I have a lot of... The week before E3 is going to be the busiest week on my channel ever. But let's get started. So, the 2 conferences we're going to talk about next is Devolver Digital and PlayStation. Now, Devolver Digital came out of literally nowhere. They've never had a conference before. No one even predicted this was going to happen. And it's a weird one, because it's not like the PC Gaming Show. I don't expect anything, but I also don't know what to expect. I don't know what they might bring to the table. I mean, they published games like Genital Jousting, which is hilarious. It's the funniest game I've ever seen. Hotline Miami, and they published a lot of smaller indie games. So at least we know we're probably going to see a lot of indie titles talked about. But as to what is anybody's guess. I have no clue what they possibly could be talking about. I don't know what games could be announcing. And once again, this is not like PC Gaming Show, where I literally just I didn't even think for one second this is going to be even a decent press conference, because I didn't know what they were going to talk about or do. But I'm actually kind of interested to see what they're going to talk about. And I honestly, this would be the only conference that I don't, sorry, my phone. The only conference I'd have that I won't do a prediction for, because I don't even know what to predict. I mean, what, Hotline Miami 3 maybe? Maybe they'll announce, I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to talk about. So it's kind of hard to even discuss this one. It was hard to discuss the PC Gaming Show because I know what to expect, which is nothing. But with this one, it's even harder to because I don't know what to expect. I don't know if it's going to be good. It might be awesome, but it's one of those conferences where it's new, so it can't really be judged. You can't really say that, oh, they're going to do a horrible job, because we don't know what it's going to be yet. We have no clue, no idea whatsoever. So I definitely say watch out for it. It's the reason I picked this is because it's in between Ubisoft and PlayStation, and it was kind of a surprise one too. It came way out of left field. But so yeah, Devolver Digital. But let's move on to let's move on to PlayStation. Now, PlayStation unequivocally steals the show every year. Last year was no different. I think the worst PlayStation press conference I've seen was E3 2014, but it's a different video. But every year they come out and they do something bigger and better than they did last year. Every year they come out and they say, hey, you like that? Or we're going to do something better this year. Oh, that was cool, right? Well, now we're going to do even better, you know? And I will say one thing, they do really ride nostalgia pretty hard. And not even nostalgia, but also coming soon. Because they don't really announce things. Like, let me explain. They announce games, but not games coming out anytime soon. Like, they announced Spider-Man last year. What they announced? Spider-Man, God of War, Crash Bandicoot. They showed some Death Stranding, and you know what I mean. And think about it, the year before that, what did they have? They had a Final Fantasy, 7 remake. They had Shenmue 3. They recently, the last few years, have shown games that aren't coming out anytime soon, or won't be out for a little while. So it's hard to, I mean, believe me, I think they do a great job, but it's definitely something that you have to look at when you look in their corner on what they might be doing this year. I mean, I think this year they can't show a lot of coming soon. I think they really need to show stuff. I mean, think about what they have in the hat. I mean, new Spider-Man game, and we know it's going to be PS4 exclusive, which I was wondering why Sony even made multi-platform Spider-Man games. They own the rights to Spider-Man. I don't know why it even was published multi-platform ever. But a new Spider-Man game. We have Detroit Detroit Become Human, I think it's called. Yeah, I'm really excited about that game. What else? We have Uncharted Lost Legacy, which will probably be the last Uncharted thing we see, because that's what they made it seem like. It made it seem like we're filming, but this is it. So Uncharted Lost Legacy, Shenmue 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, there's a list of things that go on and on for titles that we know exist. The titles that we know are going to be coming out. I mean, and that have been announced. And so I think this year they need to focus less on showing off new things and focus more on actually selling and actually games coming out. I'm not saying every game that I just listed should have a release date for 2017. I'm not saying that, but you need to give release windows. You can't just keep saying, hey, this game, someone's working on it somewhere in some place. You know what I mean? I do think that's one of my bold predictions. We'll get there, but I think they definitely need to focus on more actual games, actual release dates, as opposed to always focusing so heavily on giving everybody the show they want to see, because it's honestly how they win. Last year's Xbox press conference was great. They did a great job last year, and they would have been number one had Sony not had the press conference they had. Had they had just the announcements, it'd have been okay. But it's not the games necessarily. It is the games, but it's not necessarily the games for Sony. It's how they present. Last year, they stole the show. They had the suits and the live orchestra, and they did it up. Okay? Think back to one of the most impressive moments in gaming history, E3 2013. Name one game that was announced at that press conference. I'll give you 5 minutes to try to think of one without looking it up. One game that was announced at press conference. Everyone remembers that 2013 press conference for being where everything the Xbox One isn't. But it didn't win because of games. I can't even think of a game. I think maybe Uncharted 4, I think? Maybe? I don't remember. But, E3 2015, that was different. I told you 2014 was a really bad year. I didn't enjoy it. They spent like 10 minutes talking about powers. It was a bad year. But they recovered, and they've been doing well ever since. So I don't expect this to be any less than incredible. And I know they're probably going to announce at least a few nostalgia tickets. But at the same time, I do expect them to do two things. I expect them, three things. One, I expect them to show a lot more release dates as opposed to just these games exist. I think they're going to, they better try to push the Pro more. They need to get developers on board and actually showing off why people should buy it. Because right now, yes, there are benefits if you have a 4K TV, but if you haven't put money and time into getting a 4K TV or high dynamic range, there's no reason to own a PlayStation 4 Pro. There just really isn't right now. So I think they need to refocus their efforts on getting developers behind that, and also developers making the Pro applicable for 4K owners and 1080p owners. So regardless of what kind of TV you have, you can reap benefits from it. And then 3, I think they need to. I don't think they should do the same thing they did. I don't think they should bring back the live orchestra again. I feel like that's one of those things that it was cool, but to do it again, it'll just feel it won't feel right. I want to see them evolve, try something new again, try something new this year, and then keep trying new ideas and things of that nature. I think that's what Sony does best, is evolving and changing the press conference. I think Xbox has found their rhythm, and I know that they're probably going to stick to it. They're probably not going to change much of what you've seen. And smart money probably goes in the fact they do the same type of press conference they did last year. Hopefully just some more release dates. And this was gonna be a lot shorter than most of them. So not anything. There's a lot to talk about with PlayStation, but honestly, there's not really anything they really have to do at this press conference. Would we love to get a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3? Absolutely. That would be the best thing to ever happen at this event, and there's rumors saying that it will. And if I was a betting man, because Square Enix has yet to announce a press conference, not saying they won't, there's still time, but if it's going to be announced, it's going to be announced at the Sony press conference. I'd be shocked if Xbox bought the rights or bought the marketing rights for it so they could do it. I'd be completely and totally shocked if that happened. And so if Kingdom Hearts 3 does get a release date this year, it's going to be a PlayStation press conference. Final Fantasy VII Remake is not going to come out before Kingdom Hearts 3. I put all the money I have in my wallet on that. It's not going to happen. Once again, like I said, Spider-Man, Uncharted, we know that already come out in August, so it doesn't really release date. Detroit Become Human, that one zombie game that, when I look at it, I think Dead Rising mixes The Last of Us. What's it called? Dawn or something, I don't know what it's called. It's something like that. People like it though. It's not really, I need more. I'm not super excited yet, but I'm almost there. I just need more before I can say, oh yeah, I'm ready for this to happen. What else? Gran Turismo Sport is probably gonna get a full release date there. I think it's in beta now, isn't it? Something like that. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot to unpack here. But honestly, for PlayStation, they just do the same thing they do every year. They come out there, they steal the show by giving us announcements of games that we never thought we'd see again come back. There's rumors of maybe a new Spyro possibly. So there's so much that could come out of this conference. It's kind of hard to talk about it. But anyway, let's do my 3 predictions. Okay, number 1. Now this is Number one, there will be a new Sly Cooper game announced at the PlayStation event. This is one that I know probably is going to happen, but I really want it to happen. I would give anything for them to announce a new Sly Cooper game. So, hey, PlayStation, what's up? Announce a new Sly Cooper game. And then on top of that, I'm going to do a two-parter for the first one. New Sly Cooper and a new Jak and Daxter game. I feel like we need both of those back. And I feel like if you reach into the well of PlayStation, classics that they could revive and bring back, those are both ones that you want to see happen, right? I mean, at least maybe that's just Paul. I don't know, but I would like to see it happen again. So number one, like I said, number one is a new Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter game. I said both. Yes, I did say both. Okay. Number two, Kingdom Hearts is shown on the stage and given a release window. Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 3 is shown on the stage, is shown at their press conference, and it's given a release window. Not a release date, just a window, like a year, like 2018 or fall of 2018, something like that. It'll be given a window, not an exact date though, because that would be way too precise, but it's going to be given a release something at this event. And number three, number three is okay. Number three is we will see at least one. We will see Death Stranding, and we'll see actual gameplay from Death Stranding at this event. I think it's time. I think they need to pull the rug back. I think it's either going to be Death Stranding or it's going to be Shenmue 3. And if I was a betting man, which I don't, I'm a bet man, I would absolutely put the smart money on Death Stranding. I think Hideo Kojima, he's been talking. He's been kind of hinting at things here and there on his Twitter page, and I think we're now ready to get more. And I think we're ready to see more of this game. Not a release date. I think we're still a good 2 years out. I think the soonest we'll get it is 2019. The soonest we'll get Death Stranding. I don't think we're going to see it next year, but I do think that we're going to see it on the stage, and I think we're going to see like real gameplay, not these cutscenes they've been doing that are kind of dropping hints. I mean, we're going to see actual gameplay on the stage. So wow, this is actually a lot shorter than the other episodes have been. And like I said, this isn't because of Sony or anything like that. This is just because it's how the cookie crumbles. If I'm not trying to kind of hold back, but this is kind of what I have to say about it. I don't really have much else past this. Like I said, I think PlayStation, of all the companies doing press conferences that we know of right now, PlayStation has the least to prove. Okay, I mean, things like companies like Nintendo and Microsoft, they have a lot they have to prove at these conferences. I mean, their conference or their digital event. But I think that Sony doesn't really have to prove anything. I think Sony simply just has to re-justify their and just hold on to their position of power that they have in the company. I mean, in the race. So I don't think they have the most to bring out here. I don't think they really have the most to add. Not to say they won't add a lot, just saying I don't know what more they can add. So, but other than that, that's all. Thanks for watching. We're coming next week. We're gonna be wrapping it up with just discussing the conferences. We're gonna be talking about Nintendo. We're gonna be talking about Nintendo next week, and then I'm gonna break down how the week leading up to the EA's first conference is going to be, because it's going to be jam-packed with content, all pertaining to E3, kind of breaking down companies and things of that nature, and what games I'm excited for. And so we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff that week. So thanks for watching. This is Superplayer301 signing out.